I still don't know if what I heard that night was real, or if I was just unlucky enough to walk past the wrong door at the wrong time. But I remember my name being said inside a meeting I was never invited to. And the moment I heard it, I knew something about my job had never been what I thought it was. Before that night, everything felt normal. I had deadlines, meetings, messages from my manager. Just another ordinary workday. And honestly, I thought I understood how my company worked. I thought effort mattered. I thought performance was everything. I thought things were fair. That night, I went back to the office just to grab something I left behind. It was supposed to take a few minutes, maybe 5 or 10. I didn't think much about it. I just walked back in like any normal employee after hours. But something felt off. The moment I entered the building, it was too quiet. No cleaning staff, no voices, no movement, just the hum of the lights and the feeling that I was inside a place that had already finished its real work for the day. I walked through my floor and it felt almost abandoned, like the entire company had been erased for the night and I was the only thing left moving inside it. And that silence wasn't peaceful. It felt intentional. Ten primera sa, W Italiano, one room, still headlight, the meeting room at the far end of the corridor. And that alone already felt strange, because nobody ever holds meetings that late. Not in my company at least, not officially. I slowed down without even realizing it, like my body understood something my mind hadn't caught up to yet. Something about that room didn't feel like overtime work. It felt different. When I got closer, I noticed the door wasn't fully closed, just slightly open, enough to let sound escape, but not enough to clearly see everything inside. And that made it feel even more intentional, like it wasn't an accident. And then I heard voices, but I didn't understand them at first until one word cut through everything clearly: my name. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was calm, like it had already been discussed before I even arrived. I stopped walking immediately. I didn't move. I didn't breathe properly for a moment because my brain couldn't connect what I just heard with reality. Why would my name be inside a meeting I was never invited to? Through the gap, I could see 4 people: my manager, HR, and 2 senior executives I barely ever interacted with. None of them looked surprised. None of them looked emotional. It felt like this conversation had nothing to do with me personally. They weren't talking about tasks or projects or deadlines. It wasn't a normal meeting. It was something else entirely. More like a review of people. Not performance, but people themselves, like they were being categorized instead of evaluated. One of them said, "He delivers results, but he's hard to predict." Another voice followed. "This one is stable, but doesn't stand out." Then there was a pause, like everyone was silently agreeing on something unspoken. Then came a question: who's safer to keep long term? And I remember thinking, why would safety matter more than performance? Why would they even frame employees like that? That's when something shifted in my understanding. I realized they weren't talking about who was best. They were talking about who is least risky, who creates fewer problems, who is easier to manage long term. Then my name appeared again. Not as price, not as criticism, just as a reference point. Like they were pulling information from a system, not discussing a person standing outside the room listening. In that moment, I felt strangely detached, like I was hearing about someone else, not myself. Like my identity inside that company had already been reduced into something I wasn't part of anymore. Then came the sentence I will never forget. "We keep the stable profiles, and the others go on the watch list." And nobody reacted. Like it was normal. Like it had been decided long before that meeting even started. The words, watch list, stayed in my head, because nobody explained it, nobody questioned it, nobody even reacted. And that silence told me more than the words themselves. Something about this system was already established. I slowly stepped back from the door, trying not to make any sound. My mind wasn't thinking about getting caught. It was trying to process what kind of system I was actually working in without ever knowing it. I left the building quietly. Nobody stopped me. Nobody noticed me. Or maybe they did and just didn't care. And that uncertainty felt worse, because it made me question what else I had never noticed before. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every conversation I had in the company, every feedback, every meeting, every casual comment. And suddenly everything started to feel like it had a second meaning I never saw before. It's strange how one moment can change your entire perception. After that, You start analyzing everything. Silence, tone, reactions. Even normal greetings start feeling like they might contain hidden meaning you missed. The next morning, everything was completely normal. People were smiling, talking, working like usual. My manager greeted me the same way he always did, and that normality felt more disturbing than anything I heard the night before. Because if everything was normal, then why did I feel like I had seen something I was never supposed to see? And more importantly, if that system is real, how long have I already been inside it without realizing? Am I on that list right now? Or have I always been on it since the very beginning? Without ever knowing. In part dos, I will reveal how the watch list actually forms inside companies. Not as an official system, but as something invisible built from behavior, perception, and silent decisions that slowly decide who gets opportunities and who slowly disappears from the system. You are not removed when they tell you. You are removed long before you ever realize you are even part of the system.